It's great to be with you again. Thank you for tuning in. I would like to mention that we have a little congregation here up in Greenbrier, Tennessee, Highway 41, right up in the main highway, right next door to the Sonic restaurant and the Taco Bell restaurant. We're right in the middle. It's called Green Ridge Church. We are a group of people, far from perfect, but we come together every single week to worship a perfect God. We have Bible study at 9 o'clock on Sunday morning. We have Bible study at 6 o'clock. At the moment, we're studying the book of Revelation at 6 o'clock every Sunday night. We have preaching at 10 o'clock. We have preaching on Wednesday night. We have a class, and we study on Wednesday night. So here's what I'm saying. You're invited to come along and see what we're up to. I'd love to see you come and see what we're about and hear what we're about and see what we're trying to do. And today on my little program, I want to talk about something that I don't like talking about it. I guess it's because it bothers us all, me included. But I want to talk about the green-eyed monster. The green-eyed monster. What's the green-eyed monster? Does anybody know what the green-eyed monster is? Jealousy. The big green-eyed monster. Genesis 37, I wish I had time to read all this for you, verses 3 through 11. And it can start off as a child at an early age, and it can last a lifetime. It can wreck a love between two people whom they thought were inseparable. How many? Was he looking at you? Was she looking at me? Was she looking at you? Did she FaceTime you? It can wreck a love between two people who thought they were inseparable. It can bring about wars. The most powerful can bring them to their knees to ruin. Jealousy, which can be defined as a feeling of resentment, bitter grudging, envious covetousness. And this jealousy you feel when someone else likes your man or likes your woman more than you think they should. Ooh. And this jealousy can be felt over a rival who got a job that you thought, I should have got that job or that position or custody or the rights that you wanted. And this jealousy you can feel when you live in a big house and I live in a tiny house. When you drive a fancy SUV and I drive a little green monster. When you have more money than me. This jealousy can be seen when it seems like she's getting preferential treatment because of the color of her skin, or her age, or her gender, or her nationality, or something else. I believe that you know what I'm talking about tonight. People can get stung, people can get hurt, people can be betrayed, devastated by the jealousy that they felt in their hearts. It was so strong. And it made them feel this is not right, or something. There's something not right here. There's something not right here. We all know the story of Joseph and his coat of many colors. The Bible teaches us in this text that his coat, the favored son, the baby of the family who received special treatment by his father. Shouldn't have been, but his father, that's the way his father was. And it didn't go unnoticed by his brothers. Genesis 37, verse 4. When Joseph's brothers saw that their father loved him more than all the other brothers, you know what the Bible says? Wow, they hated him. Why is he getting all this? And they couldn't speak peaceably to him. And the aggravated, jealous feelings Joseph had his dreams, and rather than just privately saying, I had these dreams, he shared them with the family. And his dreams had other members of the family bowing down and paying homage to him. What sort of a clown is this younger brother of mine? I don't bow down to any man. Here's what it says in verse 11. I'm talking about Genesis. And his brothers were jealous of him. And it became so heated, they wanted to kill him. But the older brother, Reuben, convinced the others, why don't we sell him into slavery and not kill him? And we can get rid of him and get a little money to boot. Good idea. Jealousy wreaks havoc. They had a plot to tell their father. Some beast killed him. Here's all was left, this blood-stained coat. And they handed it to the shocked and devastated dad and says, your favorite son is gone. Murder was avoided. Not so with Cain. When he killed his brother in Genesis 4, he killed his brother Abel because God preferred his sacrifice over Cain's. We know what happened when the prodigal son came home. You remember the father? Hey, let me bring the coat, the ring, the shoes, and everything. Let's have a party. You remember the older brother? What about me? Everybody said, oh, bless you. Look at her. Look at her. They never done that to me. The older brother was jealous, and it turned into anger and resentment raised within him. But his father told him in no uncertain terms, all these years after, yes, I behaved myself, he said, and you never threw a party for me. And the old father, he said, you're treating this tramp like this hobo, you're treating him like a king. This is wrong. Luke 15, verses 29 following. This is wrong. One of the worst features of jealousy, now mark this down, it often strikes within a family when a crisis arises. Have you ever known people to fight? Father died, mother died, brother died, somebody died. We all know people who are closest to us, and we know them well day in, day out, day in, everything else. But jealousy can ruin a family. I know two brothers haven't spoken to each other, not one word. They passed each other in the street for over 6 years after their father died. He took stuff, I don't know all that was taken, but he took stuff that probably wasn't his. And the other said that he took stuff that probably wasn't his, and there's jealousy. Cain and Abel. I have known people, it can last a lifetime, this jealousy. I married an older couple. They were lovely. They're both widowed. And they both met somewhere and they fell in love. And they had a big house in Goodlettsville, real nice one, right on the highway. And they asked me to marry them, and they were up in years. They came here years ago, 100 years ago, and they came to church here. And they loved it, and they were holding hands, and they'd sit together on Sunday morning and hold hands. To cut the story short, he died. And they called me up and said, Brother Jack, Tony's dead, and we want you to bury him. But we got bad news for you. He never wanted to be buried in Goodlettsville. He wanted to be buried in Dixon, Tennessee. I said, oh my goodness. You want me to go to Dixon? Yeah. But I said, okay, so I got to mingle with the family, and there was this one grandson. I'm not going to describe him or mention what he was like. He was a big boy, big boy. But he wouldn't go to the wedding. He was resentful of the wedding. So now he's at the funeral. And he wouldn't even speak to me at the funeral. And he sat in the back seat. That's just, what have I done? But anyway, the grandson, the only kin of Tony. Now, she had kids and family and all this. But it couldn't be repaired. They haven't spoken to each other in I don't know how long. But I goes to Dixon, Tennessee, to the funeral home, and they all came with me. And he came and sat down at the back, and I stood up to speak. And I says, hello, it's good that, and he got up and walked out. I said, oh my goodness, what have I said? I messed up again. I started to blame myself. Did I say something at home, or did I say something at the funeral? He walked out the door, shoveled out the door, never saw him again until I went to meet him, talk to him, and ask him why. I asked him why. I went to him. I didn't hide. I went and say, what's your problem? Why? Why would you do that? But anyway, he rushed home to Goodisville with one of those wire clippers, and cut the lock on his grandfather's garage, took all of his tools, took his, what do you call that, turning wheel, lawnmower, one of the, beautiful. Tony was such a perfectionist. He had tools in the wall, he had one of those special turns, and cleaned the place out. Even took some of Tony's wife's Royal Doulton china and scarbered with the whole thing. I asked him, why did you do that? I said to him, why did you do it? You know, he said to me, because I knew they weren't going to give me a fair shake of things. They were going to con me. Psalm 37, verse 1. Fret not yourself of the wicked, nor be envious of wrongdoing. Galatians 6, verse 26. Let us not desire fame and glory, provoking one another, or envying. Why do we envy others? Her car, her money, her house, It doesn't matter. Life is too short to be caught up in all this good stuff. Why do we envy? Why are we jealous of one another? Go back to the story of Joseph. Years after many ups and downs, Joseph became the vice, after prison, after rejection, after being mistreated, but he becomes the vice president of Egypt, a great position of leadership, second only to the king. And just as he had told in his dream, there's going to be a famine and the people's going to die because there's no food. But they were able to put back, they were able to salvage and keep back, and they saved not only the family, the immediate family who came later on begging, but the whole area. They were saved. But he dreamed his dream that the family one day would pay homage, and the family was terrified. They were ridden with guilt and shame. What this jealousy had caused, the issues that it caused to the family. So they come to Joseph face to face. Well, they're all bowed down. And they're expecting Joseph to kill them. But they say, well, we're hungry. We've no food. We're down on hunger. Genesis chapter 50. We're hungry. We're starving. You know what Joseph said to them. Do you remember what Joseph said to them? In chapter 50, verse 20. You know what he said to them? I love this. He said, you meant all that for evil against me, but God meant it for good. God meant it for good. Face to face, Joseph said, you meant it for evil, but God's about to do wonderful, wonderful things. In essence, it's not what you brought me, it's what God. You see, there's some things don't last in life. There's always going to be someone. Listen, I know better preachers all over the world than I am. I know better looking preachers than me. Nah, that's debatable. I know. I know better looking preachers than me all over the world. But it doesn't matter. I know healthy people. It doesn't matter. I know people with the nicest cars. I drive a Subaru, and I love it. I like good things. I'm not saying I'm some kind of a, I like good things. But I believe that my times are in his hands from my birth. We're not left to our own devices. We're not left to figure it out by himself. We're not left to make it in the world by ourselves. Listen, there's a heavenly hand. That's the message tonight. There's a heavenly hand. I'm going into the hospital on Tuesday. There's a heavenly hand that will guide me. Right? Directing me, keeping me from despair, and keeping me from giving up. So what's the message tonight? Don't be jealous. Keep on keeping on. Don't be jealous. So she's got this and he's got, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter one iota. It doesn't even matter. You know what matters? How you and God getting along. How you and God getting along. When we are jealous of one another, we divide into quarreling groups. That's how division is caused. 1 Corinthians 3:3. Moses wrote in Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 21, don't desire your neighbor's wife, your neighbor's house, or his field, or his male servants, or his ox, or his donkey. Don't be desiring anything. Rest in the Lord. Fret not yourself. Be patient, and let the Lord prosper you. Thanks for listening in tonight. May God bless you. Come out and see us, please. Come out to Green Ridge and visit with us. You'll not find a lovelier bunch of old cronies. Come out and see the old cronies. I love you, and God bless you.